All right, welcome everyone. We're finally into our polynomials unit. All right, so we're going to be finally learning something new. A polynomial, all right, so we're going to be basically today just learning what a polynomial is, kind of how to name them, not really doing much math with them in the way that you usually think about doing math. So a polynomial is basically a bunch of terms added together, that involve a variable, okay? And you can have a bunch of exponents like you see down here. And the highest exponent of a polynomial is called the degree. Okay, so standard form of a polynomial is highest degree or highest exponent first, and then it counts down, okay, all the way down to what would be an exponent of 0, which means just a normal number. Okay, so what they want us to do for these ones is write them in standard form. So any exponent in standard, any polynomial in standard form, you just find the highest exponent. So 5, all right, what's the next highest exponent? 3, then 2, and then you finally get down to no exponent, which is like an exponent of 1, and then you finally get down to no variable, which is just the number, so -1. So this is what it would look like in standard form. So you guys can do B and C if you want to pause this video and do B and C. Then we're going to talk about classifying them, basically naming them, okay? So different degrees have different names, okay? So if it has a degree of 0, I'm just going to kind of go through and label these. That's called like a constant function because it has no variable at all, right? So if there's no change, then it's constant. 1 degree of 1 means there is 1, but it doesn't have any exponent on it, and you guys have learned about that kind for a while. That's linear, all right? A degree of 2 is a quadratic. We had our quadratics unit, all right? A degree of 3 is a cubic, all right? Like x cubed, right? And at this point, it gets to like, do you know like the root words for the different things? So 4 is quartic, like think of a quarter, right? There's 4 quarters in a dollar, 4 quarters in a game, 4 quarts in a gallon, so that's quartic. 5 is quintic, like, like quintuplets. I don't know, there's not as many, wait, I didn't even spell that right. There's not as many 5 examples, all right? But it's basically like, what is the name of the function, okay? Because each degree has its own function name. Then you also have number of terms. And this is also kind of the same thing. Do you know like the root words? So you're going to have to kind of memorize these. You can always go back and look. Number 1 is a monomial. Mono means 1. I'm sure you can think of examples where mono means 1. 2 is called a binomial, all right? Again, I'm sure you can think of plenty of examples where bi means 2. Bicycle, 2 wheels, but binoculars, 2 little things. There's a lot. 3 is a trinomial. Again, tri means 3. I'm sure you know that. Tricycle, triceratops, you can think of a lot. And then we finally have 4 is, we're just going to call it a polynomial. Poly means many. And so 4 or more is just going to be called a polynomial. So we're not going to differentiate them. So we're going to go down here and we're going to kind of go through this. All right, so how do you classify it? So degree here, right, degree is 1. Okay, so if there's a letter with no exponent, we know that's an exponent of 1. So that's degree is 1. Number of terms. So this is a term, this is a term. Okay, so that has 2 terms. And so its classification, all right, is going to be, it's a linear, right? So usually the degree comes first and then the number of terms. So it's a linear binomial, all right? And so that's what we would call that function, okay? Now, you guys have seen this function a lot in your life. You're just now learning the names, but it's okay. All right, so 5, degree of 5. Number of terms is 3, right? 1, 2, 3. So this one would be called a quintic. Trinomial. This one has no variable at all, so that's a degree of 0, and number of terms is 1. So this is just called a constant monomial. Now, every constant is going to be a monomial, so that's kind of redundant to say that, but we'll just say it. All right, this one is a degree of 3, number of terms 4. So 4 terms, remember, 4 or more, we are just going to call a polynomial. It means it has many terms. So this is a cubic polynomial. Here, degree is 2, number of terms 3. 2 is a quadratic, like an x squared. So you guys definitely should know that one. So this is a quadratic trinomial. And then finally, this one's degree is 4, number of terms 1. So that would be a quartic monomial. Give an example of a cubic binomial. So bi means 2 terms. Cubic means we want an exponent of 3. So you could, add whatever you want. Plus 5, plus 5x, plus 5x squared. As long as you're adding or subtracting, another term. Okay. Last one. What is a polynomial? All right. So for polynomials, exponents must be integers. No, not integers. Natural numbers. Exponents must be rational numbers. Coefficients must be rational. All right, which means it could be written as a fraction. So we're going to go through these. Polynomial, yes or no? No. Why? Coefficient of square root of 2. Square root of 2 is not rational. That's an irrational number. Irrational numbers basically mean it's going to be a bunch of decimals forever, and you can't write it as a fraction. This one, no negative exponents. So basically, you don't want a variable down in the bottom of a fraction. Here, same thing. No, because that x is in the bottom. So we don't want an x in the denominator. Here, this is also no. 1/2 is not natural, so no fraction exponents. And finally, yes, right? This is nice. This is what we want to see, okay? Actually, I don't know. Okay, there we go. You guys try these examples. All right, these examples are the same ones as here that we just went over, so we get to try those on their own. All right, hopefully this wasn't too hard of a lesson. You just got to learn the things, okay? You got to memorize it, right? That's really all there is to it. If you have any questions, let me know, and have a great day.